Sampha. You may have heard the name. He's done features for artists like Kanye, Solange, KDB, Subtract, basically a lot of people. This time though, he's finally put out a debut album, and after listening to it, I can finally see why it's called Process. There are a lot of heavy emotional factors that fuel what is a very emotional ride, which in turn is a very electronically tinged R&B album, ranging from his mother's passing in recent years to a throat injury that hindered his ability to perform. The way that Sampha brings these moments into his music is incredibly intimate and personal and even cathartic. Referring to the album title's Process, this track listing seems to be the process of grieving, but not only grieving but also just very deep thoughts and kind of reflecting and making self-discoveries. But certainly not in the way that suggests that Sampha or the narrator is necessarily fulfilled by the end of it all. If anything, he's left with new understanding, but also new questions, some of which might be even harder to answer than those explored during the album's runtime. Heck, the album's final track has a question for its title: What Shouldn't I Be? It's a track that admits the loss of connection with his brother, his other members of family, which over time he has grown distant with. The opening track, Plastic 100 degrees Celsius, there's an image of melting like plastic outside in the heat without anything to shelter with or to cool down with. It really helps to drive home some sort of urgency with the music here. And also, I just love how spacey the track feels. There's even like a sample from, I think, a NASA recording or something. Things get even more urgent on the upbeat Blood on Me, but after this, Sampha doesn't forget to bring down the energy at times and also make things more intimate with a piano ballad like No One Knows Me Like the Piano. And although there is a lot of instrumental bliss on Process, certainly a lot to note, it's also important to note how on every song, Sampha's vocals are crystal clear. None of his vocals are ever masked by the instrumental, so you hear the vocal power and the theatrics of Sampha when he sings. And for the sake of an album that is meant to be emotional and intimate, this is a good thing. It's very easy to see the similarities between Sampha's vocal and instrumental style on this album, and also those of another British singer-songwriter creating electronically tinged R&B music, like James Blake. He has the same emotional inflections in his vocals at times, very evocative, and really helps to directly portray a sadness or pining for something, or maybe a longing. However, Sampha masterfully and passionately presents his vocals, even cleverly so on a track like Blood on Me, where he's genuinely panting and gasping for breath, as if he's being chased.
Grey hoodies, they cover their heads. I can't see their faces, I can't see.
Process is a gorgeous and extremely well written and well performed and well presented record that I could continue to delve into for ages. Tracks like Timmy's Prayer and Under and Incomplete Kisses only continue to provide very compelling, emotionally potent lyrics and images with those lyrics. However, for the moment, I will wrap up this review by saying that Sampha's debut R&B album isn't just one of the best releases of the year so far, it's also one of the best R&B releases of the decade. And believe me, R&B has needed a fresh kick to the backside a lot more recently. I'm giving this album a 9 out of 10. I'm super pleased with it. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I hope you decide to give this a listen because, man, this is good stuff.